Ready.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Top and Bottom. My name is Frederic.
My name is Kiana.
And today we are going to be roasting, and we're going to be calling out times NYU have done us dirty.
Literally. All the times. My entire college experience. No, I'm kidding.
You want to make your disclaimer?
Yeah, a disclaimer, just for my parents, that, like, we're not saying that our college experience was horrible or whatever. These are just specifically times that NYU did us dirty. And I'm sure everyone has stuff with their own colleges, but I don't know. Some of this is, like, pretty NYU specific, I feel like.
I think it's unique, and also they're mainly probably first world problems. Like, I hear about other colleges, like, oh, they don't even have AC, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like the classes, all of them are actually bad.
Yeah.
Because the professors don't care.
Yeah. I mean, we had some.
Yeah, I know. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But, yeah. I don't know. Where do you want to start? Like, from the beginning? From the top to the bottom?
Yes. So we should. We'll try to do chronologically because you mainly have them in order.
Mainly, sometimes some of them are, but yeah, I'm sure we'll digress at some point. But
so the first, I guess let's do the big hitter.
Okay.
Our old apartment, Othmer Hall, our dorm.
I was like, our Ava Dobra?
No, not apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Okay, it's weird because we were COVID kids, so it felt entirely like a summer camp because we were only there for like what, six months? Not even.
One semester basically.
What do you have about Othmer? Because I have like dorm life in general.
Well, let me give context first.
Okay.
Because I feel like some people, literally some people, they don't understand how American colleges work.
It's fair.
So
I don't get it.
NYU
either.
has NYU has two campuses. Campuses.
Yeah.
The first one is Manhattan, so that is like the main city that people talk about when they talk about New York City. Mm-hmm. And then Brooklyn campus is the other one, and that's like I say 25 minutes away by subway and car. Yeah. And the only college in Brooklyn campus is Tandon, which is the engineering school, which is where we went.
And
to.
I didn't even know until I showed up, and they're like, "Your dorm's in Brooklyn," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I never even toured until I got in.
Yeah, literally.
And well, I don't know if the nursing school is also in Brooklyn. Either way, like
the nursing school, I think is like uptown. Like
actually, you're right. I've seen it.
I mean, that's just from context. I don't know if it's not.
I'm pretty sure there's another one. There might be like something dentistry maybe or like whatever that is also in Brooklyn, but it's like farther down, mm-hmm. and no one associates that either. But either way, like we're already separated because they openly say like Manhattan Brooklyn campus, mm-hmm. and they're literally just saying like Tandon, you're the one there.
Exactly. Well, I don't know. They started moving some classes from other schools into Brooklyn because there's that building.
Good.
Yeah, there's that building that we had that was completely empty, and they were like trying to figure out like what to do with it. But for a large part of at least our college experience, we were the only ones kind of in Brooklyn. I think until senior year, then there was some classes, whatever. But yeah, two campuses separated.
And on our
divided,
campus,
segregated.
And on our campus, there's even more separation. There are two dorms. One is called Othmer, and that's considered like the better one because you're like 2 minutes away from the dining hall. Yeah. Because there's still currently one dining hall, right?
There's one dining hall, and then there's one cafe, which is food from the dining hall that gets transported via cart to the other building, and then they sell the same food at that cafe.
And it's across the street. And so this dining hall, we only have one, by the way, compared to Manhattan's, what, 80?
I don't know how much.
It's 7, I think.
I think I failed in my senior bucket list because I was supposed to eat at every single dining hall, and I didn't, like, reach all of them in Manhattan, at least.
I don't think we need to.
Well, I just wanted to see. I don't know.
Yeah, we always wanted to see, like, what other... This reminded me, we would go out to a dining hall as, like, let's go out.
Yeah, literally. Like, during the week, at least, like, we would...
It's so sad.
Yeah. But yeah,
so Othmer is 2 minutes away from the dining hall, but then Clark? Mm-hmm. Clark is the other one, and that's like probably 20-minute walk, maybe 15-minute walk.
It's like a 15-minute walk, and it's not exclusive.
Some people will even shuttle to the dining hall,
and it's not exclusive to NYU. That dorm had a few colleges sharing that building, so it's like yeah. So that's the context.
We both lived in Othmer, though.
We both lived in Othmer. The best way I can describe it is like it's a little Sim City. Like there's like all the buildings next to each other, but then like Manhattan was like another city.
Because when we say campus, it's like I think we actually had like a tiny bit of a campus. Like we had a park at least. unless you
Kind of.
count Washington Square Park as their NYU's park. But like all the buildings would just be around it, like our 2-floor library, and
Library.
then all
There were books. I don't know if it was a library.
there were printers.
Yeah. Did they
and
work?
then we had our dining hall, and then we had our apartments. Like they're literally all next to each other, and then our classes were across the street as well.
Yep. Our little town.
So,
our little bubble.
Do you want to start us off with your experience? Because
I can start. Okay, well, we'll probably lead into each other. The first thing I noted was, one, the fact that I didn't even know we had our Brooklyn campus. Like, I was a very confused NYU student, like, very, like, lost. But then, one thing that, it's not necessarily something that was, like, dirty, but, like, something I didn't really like about NYU was the random roommates. Not because I don't believe that you shouldn't, like, meet strangers and whatever. Like, yes, like, that's fine. But you're living with someone truly random. And I had a few great roommates. There was one who was not so subtle about her homophobia, so it was like a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. She would, like, we got along to the extent like we could live in the same space, but it's like my girlfriend would come visit and I'm like, oh, this is my girlfriend, and she just was like, oh, hi, like, you know, like, and I've talked about this, like, she literally went through my Instagram and only liked photos that my girlfriend wasn't in. Like, could you be more obvious? But, and it's like, I believe that, like, yeah, like, it was good in the sense that, like, I mean, maybe she got exposure to someone who's different than what she's, like, used to, but, like, for me at least, it's like, I don't know if I necessarily was the most comfortable, and I'm sure I could have gone to someone and talked about it, but that was weird. Like, other colleges, you could somewhat pick even, like, you could try to find someone and, like, whatever, but, like, that was interesting. That was just something that, if I could change it, I would have, but it was okay.
Well, for us, it's like the only things you put out are like, what time do you usually go to sleep?
Which did not match. They did not match.
Yeah.
Because one of us was up at 6. I like working later, and my roommate in my own room was like in bed at 9, which is fine. Like, girl boss, she was done. Like, did her thing.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't like that, so I would have to find somewhere else. So no, they didn't listen to my criteria. It was not met.
And then I think the last thing was like, I think it's really 2 options. It's like how clean you are, and then how time you go to sleep, right?
Yeah. And
Which they did not match.
they didn't match that at all. Because it didn't.
I'm grateful enough that
Yeah.
like my roommates, they all like, a lot of them happen to not only be accepting of me, but like they all just also were like open to other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, like not really strict about it, and I was like, oh, this is the majority of us.
Yeah. Yeah, you had pretty good roommates. I mean, a lot of us had pretty good roommates, and I'm not saying that my roommate was bad necessarily. It was just like weird because it was like I didn't get to say, no, please be accepting of
Yeah.
my sexuality, like, on my thing, but it's fine. Talking about cleaning though, it didn't matter how often you cleaned that dorm. There was mold everywhere. Bathroom, in the air from the AC. My Brita had mold no matter how many times I cleaned it. Like, something was wrong with the dorm. So, I don't know. But, like, that was something for me. I was like, I could sue, probably. I'd never get sick, and I got sick so much in the dorms.
Did you complain to the? I don't even know who you complained to.
I don't want to know who to complain to. Like, it would just get lost.
For me, it was like, okay, like I always said, like my roommates they're great people. Like I would be their friends if we still had classes and like hung out, but we never had class. We had one class with one of them only.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just someone who's like very picky when it comes to cleanliness, and like some of them, there were I don't know if I brought it up before. There was like the second night, I think, or maybe the first night, someone microwaved a bagel for like
That was you.
A clean 5 minutes, I think, and it charred the bagel to the point like it looked like charcoal, and then literally the whole floor would smell like burnt bagel for the rest of the semester.
Wow.
But then like I was the one who cleaned the microwave.
Yeah. I mean, naturally. I think I was that roommate. Like, I'd be like, guys, are we gonna clean the bathroom? And like, they'd be like, oh yeah, like, whatever. Set up a schedule. No one listened. And then I would clean it by myself. But
yeah, I used to be nice about it. Oh, I want to clarify. I want to shout out Caroline, and her roommate did help me clean the microwave. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, it would first be, oh, let's do a schedule, and then the next, like when they didn't follow it, I would just text the group chat like, we're cleaning this day. Let's go.
Yeah. You know what was also an issue? Toilet paper. No one wanted to get it. So like, there would be times that I go to the bathroom and there's no toilet paper. And I'd be like,
I remember I did a protest where I was like, I'm gonna get the toilet paper
yeah.
for myself, and they literally did not care.
Yeah.
Like they still did not get toilet paper for like a clean 2 days, and I was like,
Awesome.
But the way you got toilet paper, you got this 0.5 ply toilet paper at the front desk, and you have to go all the way. You have to go downstairs and ask them, and you only get one roll.
Mm-hmm. One roll at a time. Yeah.
Always.
There's one time. Well, there's also a downstairs bathroom that I know everyone used to like shit in the morning because they didn't want to shit in their own bathroom. I was in the downstairs bathroom and I forgot to lock the door, and some guy came in, and I literally like on the toilet. I'm sitting and I'm like, hello, but like I always went down there too because they always stocked the toilet paper, so I didn't have to like worry about it. Like if I had to really pee, I would just go downstairs, like especially if I was walking in or something. But
they had free like pads and tampons, right?
I don't know.
Did they?
I believe. I mean, it sounds right, but like I don't know. They could say that they did and then just never had it. But I didn't use that. I didn't have to go there for that.
I'm pretty sure they did. I will give them that.
You know what they did have for free? In surplus? Condoms.
Yes. That's what it was. No, that's what it was.
As I said, I don't think they handed out pads and stuff, but like
no,
condoms,
it was condoms
for sure. They had that. But yeah.
No, literally, like I think I literally got them for welcome week as well. Like they were just boosts.
No,
like,
literally.
There are stations next to vending machines of like take a condom.
Yeah, it was insane. Like I couldn't guarantee like if there would be toilet paper sometimes, but I could guarantee you can find a condom in that building.
I still have those NYU condoms. Just they're like a souvenir now.
Yeah.
Because they have their own logo.
Yeah, they do. That's funny. Well, okay, for sure though, the worst time I had in the dorm was when I got bed bugs. I didn't get bed bugs personally. One of my roommates had bed bugs. So naturally, like, we had to clean out the entire apartment because, like, if she had it, like, one of us is probably going to get it. So NYU notifies us via email. You've been notified that one of the people you live with, like, has bed bugs, whatever. Like, you need to wash all your clothes, wash all your bedding, wipe down everything. Like, you need to, like, not someone, which is fine. I'm capable of doing it. But, like, you need to, and I was like, all right. We didn't even get into laundry. So, whatever.
Yeah, this goes into the laundry.
This goes into the laundry, but the laundry's already bad. But now I have to wash everything I own completely. So I drag it all downstairs to the basement. Half the times you didn't know if like a dryer was going to work or whatever. So I'm doing all whatever. And then though they follow up with don't sleep in your bed. Don't sleep in anyone else's bed. Don't sleep in the dorm. So I'm homeless and I have all my stuff in a bag. Like literally. And then like I remember the whole treatment thing, like they weren't very specific when it was going to get treated, if it was going to get treated. And I was just like for a week, I stayed with Caroline, even though I wasn't supposed to, because whatever. And I will say there were other people who ended up getting bed bugs and they got hotels or something. I don't know if it was provided by NYU or not. I can't confirm, but I still think like it was very much like, sorry about your situation. We can't help you, but good luck.
Yeah, some people slept in like the lounge because each floor had a lounge and like one sofa.
My poor roommate, she actually slept in the lounge, and I felt so bad because I didn't know. I would have told her like we could probably find somewhere like you don't have to sleep. Like
yeah, but like they literally NYU was just like you're on your own.
Yeah, and I mean that like it's already bad. I had bed bugs. Now I have nowhere to sleep. Like it was like a two for one. But
yeah. Oh, and on top of that, your washing machine. I think did I help you or like?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I was washing this. Are you talking about when I was doing laundry and then all the dryers were broken?
I think it was either that or when you took up like the majority of the washing machines during the bed bug situation.
There's two that both happened, but one time. This is before the bed bugs. I did laundry, and none of the dryers were working, so I just had soaking wet laundry. And I didn't know what to do. And my roommates were pretty helpful that time one of my roommates, like, we literally hung up all my clothes in the dorm and, like, put it out by the window, whatever, like, to let it at least dry. But...
You should have asked me for my drying rack.
We weren't close then, Frederic.
Oh, shit. Oh.
But because of that, though, because all the dryers were broken, they made them free for the rest of the semester.
Yeah, that was good.
So that was a win. And then the second time was with my bed bugs. I literally took up all the washers, and I literally had a bucket, or like those bins people move in with. I put all my clothes in there, and Frederic, I think someone else might have been there. Frederic, me, and someone else were like literally going to every single washer, just putting a handful of my clothes in and closing it and starting the wash.
Yep. This was like midnight.
And it took all day. Yeah.
Oh no, that was the weekend we just did that.
Yeah, it was insane.
I had fun. I know you didn't have fun.
But yeah,
all right,
that was insane.
put washing machine. I put roommates. But like roommates itself, it's okay.
It's like it's not the roommates. It's like for me it was like the way they set up roommates. I mean, it ended up being okay. I mean, I made some friends with my roommates, but like it still wasn't the best.
Well, I did get sexiled a lot.
You did.
Cause the walls in in these rooms like literally this thick because I could hear my own roommates on the other side like
I just
not
remembered
even
something,
yelling,
but yeah.
just like talking.
Yeah, you could. It was really bad.
So like of course when they had because all of them they got like girlfriends I think by 3 months in. So I was the only single one, and
You had your
I mean,
you had your hookups. You had your
yeah,
flings.
but I mean like I didn't. Well, no, I did bring one. I only brought one time, but like they would consistently bring their girlfriends and be like, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't need to know, but I'd rather know if something's gonna go down. Like just say like avoid. I will gladly avoid it. Like I don't want to. I was rarely in my room. I never studied in my room because I was always so. Like I did all the decorating for what?
No, I know. Well, I mean, I didn't really decorate, but I mean, I made my room nice, and I don't think I spent more than 10% of my time there. And had nothing to do with my roommate. That was just because, more so, like we were always in Caroline's room. She was.
Oh, it was that, and also I didn't feel comfortable in my own room.
Okay, fair. Yeah. I was trying to. Oh, your thing reminded me of. You know how many times we got noise complaints?
Oh my god.
For what?
I forgot the RAs.
There was one time I agree. We should have gotten a noise complaint. We were watching like a horror movie at night on a floor that
friends.
a family was living on because
Yeah.
I forgot, like it was some professor, like whatever. But there was one night though, literally no sound. We were not making any noise.
We had face
We
masks
had face masks on. We were like just talking like this. We were just talking, and we hear knock knock knock. Some RA comes in. He's like, I got a noise complaint. Whoever was roommates with Caroline complained about us being loud or whatever. And it was funny because I think at the time like you could not get another, like, I don't know what it's called. It's not
It
a
was
charge.
me. Was it just me?
I think it was just you. So you hid. You literally went into the closet. You literally went into the closet area.
I went inside the closet.
And hid. And we all were just like, but he came in and it was just us with our face masks on, like literally looking at him like, what did we do? Like we literally didn't do anything. But that was frequent. We got noise complaints a lot.
And some of the R's, they're really strict about it. Like, my RA was nice.
Yeah. No, I remember your RA. Yeah.
But like some of them, they would. It's like they'll take your NYU ID and then I think they like just write it down. And if another one, I forgot what happens if another one like if you get too many. Is this suspension?
It's not. You don't get suspended.
No.
It's just like
No.
you get. I don't know. It was weird. But like, there's been times where like I remember Hannah and I ran out when we heard the knock. We were on like the other side of the room and we just ran out before the RA came.
Damn.
And you guys got another noise complaint. But
I remember that.
we made it to the stairs. We were just hiding in the stairs.
I should have ran too.
It's okay.
I think that was my second strike.
Yeah.
But like, it's just because anyone can complain, and I think like I forgot how they complain, but it's like I think they just call the front desk or something.
And it's like on what basis? Like, what is too loud? What decibel? Like I would avoid it if I knew, but like I feel like they called it if we were just talking. Like sometimes they just didn't care.
Well, that one time when Caroline's roommates did call, we were just talking, and because those walls are so shallow, like it's just that's how it happens.
Yeah. We were also right next to the RA's room. Do you remember?
Yeah, but even her RA didn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
She literally would like we would blast music, and so would she.
Yeah. I would say I'm over it, but obviously I'm not. What else? The dorms. There's a lot in the dorms. I forgot because I like totally like. I don't think about it that much anymore, but like.
And we can do a whole thing for the dorms. I wanted to go into our advisors next.
Yes.
I love this.
I love it. Do it. You can start.
Okay, so even like I get DMs sometimes like, oh, what advisor do you recommend? You will not be able to choose.
No. Well.
They're randomized.
At NYU, you won't be able to choose.
Yeah, and like it depends on each major as well. Like some like these RAs are only for this major. So
RA
since we were
advisor.
Sorry, advisor.
I
Yeah.
was like-
So like all our friends, they mainly had like this other person who was just known for like doing the standard. Yep. Doing the standard, like, okay, I'll set you up. This is your schedule. This is what you need to do to graduate. My advisor, putting them on blast, they literally didn't know how many credits you had. They would ask you how many credits I had. I was like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm just like shitting out these credits and like I don't even know if I can graduate. And they were not on top of it at all. Like I remember, I have all of them down. There was one time where she like halfway through my whole college thing, like she said, "Oh, by the way, you can only take 4 classes outside of your major."
Mm-hmm.
And if you go over that, they won't count as a credit towards your degree. So then you're literally wasting money. However, if it counts towards your minor, your first minor only, they do count.
Yeah.
And I literally looked everywhere on NYU's website. It's not, I don't see it.
No, because everything's gate kept. I don't know. But also, like, my advisor, like, we're saying, like, my advisor was, like, standard. Even that is not standard, because, yes, he would respond. I guess that's the literal minimum requirement. He would respond to my emails, but, like, at the end of the day, when we would have meetings, it wasn't like he was telling me what to take. It was more like, okay, what do you want to take? I would tell him, and he'd be like, okay, sounds good. But, like, if it didn't work, like, it was up to me. Like, and other schools are not like that. Like, literally, my sister right now, like, her advisor tells her exactly what she needs to take, and then if she says, like, you know, I want a minor in this, he, like, helps her pick out the classes. We were on our own. Like, literally, like, we had to pick and choose and, like, hope at the end of the day that everything, like, added up by ourselves.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know.
Every day I was counting, and I was like, does this work? And then I didn't know, but, like, if... how to explain it? Like, for your major, you have a certain amount of credits you have to fill out, and then you have general credits, so I think it's, like, 60 general credits, 48 for your major, and then 12 free, I'm pretty sure.
Something like that. It added up to 120. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it added up to 120. But, like, I didn't know that if you went over 60, the other credits don't transfer to the other area. Like...
Yeah. I had at one point, 1 credit extra, just in my little spreadsheet. And my advisor was looking at it. He's like, I don't really know how you got that. Literally 1. And I was like, so what do I do? And he's like, I think it might count, like, for extra. And I'm like, okay, like, let me know.
Mean?
Like, I don't know.
I think you have to pay extra.
No, and I would have to pay extra if I had 1, literally 1.
Yeah.
I didn't have, like, a class over. I had 1 credit just floating around.
And, like, the way credits work, it's like a 4-credit class is known as the most intensive. It's like, it's the longest time that you'll spend in that class in a week. And it's, like, considered the most homework you get. 1 credits are, like, easy, you know?
I did easy.
2 3s, they're in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how they judge how many credits they get.
Our major credits were 3, but they were longer than the 4 credit
it's
classes.
Just, why were they, like, 3 is such an ass number. Like, they don't add up together to, like, be even.
No. I was talking to Caroline. She also shares the same advisor that you have because she was frustrated. But we were like, who would be, like, I was like, literally, like, I could do that so well. Like, I would be such a great advisor. Like, I feel like I'm organized. I could figure it. I would literally, I would love to sit with you and figure out your classes because I was doing it by myself already. I am qualified. I've done it already for 3 years.
And they get paid, like, $100K a year minimum.
Something like that. It's whatever. But no, college advisors in general suck, though, I feel like. But ours were exceptionally bad.
And for our minors, I don't know if this is true for all of everyone, but, like, they would not be able to help. They're like, oh, you're going to have to talk to not the dean, but, like, the head of, like, that department for your minor. So we had to contact another school, Steinhardt, for our digital art
because
minor.
We got minors outside of Tandon, basically, they were saying.
And they like, the 2 advisors, they don't communicate with each other. Like, we are the middlemen. So we had to tell them, like, does this class count towards our major? Because you can take some classes that, like, aren't necessarily specific to your major, but they can also count if, like, the topic is related enough. And sometimes you would have to get that approved, so you have to send a form and you have to wait however many days. Like, I remember I sent in a form just to be like, is this a humanities course? And then I don't know, I got the confirmation back and I sent it to my advisor. A month before I graduate, my advisor reaches back out and she's like, did you confirm this was a humanities course? No, this was already after I graduated.
No, yeah.
And I was like, yes. And then she goes, send me the email. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I go through my archive, and this is, like, back in November, send her the email, and she's like, she didn't respond back. But I was like, okay. Well, and then at some point, our second minor didn't count.
I was about to say, we literally graduated a month out. I get an email like, hey, we were running the numbers, and you actually can't get this minor. And I was like, I was done by then. I could literally was like, fine, whatever, take it off. I don't care. Like, I didn't
respond.
I was like,
I give up.
Girl, I have an email that confirms this, but we got an email from the same lady who's like, oh, JK. But no, I have never experienced what it's like having divorced parents, but that was like an experience of having, like, they did not communicate with each other. I was trying to do like middleman, like it was so bad, really bad. But yeah.
There was also a point where, was it with? Yeah, it was with this same type of situation where like I was trying to get approved for the second major, and my advisor was like, you can't do, like, this class doesn't count. And then I would tell her, no, this advisor told me it does. And she's like, send me the email where she says it counts. I was like, do you not believe my own word? Like,
No, they don't. They don't trust us. What was I gonna say? I know someone who literally changed majors because the advisors were so bad at our program.
yes.
She literally was like, I'm done. Like, I was like, if I would, I could, but I'm too far in. But
Because if you're known as like a bad advisor, like throughout Reddit, you know, because there's an NYU Reddit as well, and like throughout just like the own like students, I feel like you should not have that job. Because our professor was also our advisor was also a professor.
you know how we can rate our professors at the end of each semester? Why didn't we get to
Yeah.
rate our advisors?
I don't know.
I would have written a hefty.
Because they don't want to
little...
hire new ones. I would have written like 10-page essays.
This is my thesis. Like,
And that would have been the best paper I've ever written. With citations and
yeah, everything. No. Well, okay. In terms of advisors, we had some pretty bad ones. Professors, we had interesting ones. I don't think we necessarily had we had a few bad ones, but like they weren't bad compared to like others. I feel like they were just not very involved in the
If
class.
I could describe our professors, it would be like the modern art you see at museums sometimes. You're like, is it actually? It's just there.
They're pretty interesting. Like some of them like actually like were very qualified to teach and maybe hadn't taught for a while, so maybe that's why they weren't the best. But we've had, I mean, I'm not gonna go through like a list of them, but like there was one professor who fell asleep in class completely. Just like, do you remember?
Oh my god, was that during the film? Oh my god, I remember. I also fell asleep in that class.
I mean, we all were asleep, but she was asleep the entire time. And we were like, do we stay on? We had one who just recently started teaching. I don't think she knew how to teach the course, and that's fine. Like, she was a cool person, I would say. But, like, as a professor, girl, I did not learn a single thing from her. I had to, like, look up everything. And it wasn't even like that. It was, like, subjective grading. Like, I didn't know what she was going to grade off of. Stuff like that.
It's how she felt that day.
It's just how she felt, yeah, which is, I don't think, really good for a professor. We had one...
Like, some of the, like, that, I think that one was for, like, a web dev course or something. And there was a point where we had an assignment that's like, make poetry out of code. And I was like, actually, what does that mean?
No, literally. First of all, I'll speak on coding. Right? This is it. This is the entrance to coding. I am so proud. That's the word I'll use. Proud of people who can code. Like, you bring me joy. Like, I'm so happy that you can.
We love you.
You can do that and you're successful. First of all, I hate math. One, coding is basically math with words. That, for me, this isn't working. Second of all, they're like, well, be artistic. So now we have a third point coming in. I'm like, I literally, I can't even function right now. And you want me to like make something out of the numbers and letters I have to type? That was my problem with coding. It did not click for me. But like I said, if it clicks for you, you're amazing. Like, I have the highest regard for you. Like, so proud of you. But like, I cannot do it. And I've tried. I took 3 classes on it? Could not do it.
Yeah, we were required to.
I mean,
and I will confidently say I cannot make any functioning code probably right now.
I could print "Hello World." And that's it, honestly. And I don't even know if I could for every single program. Like, and then yeah, sure.
Because
like,
they're different.
I mean, I could. Okay, I learned it, and I definitely like if I was like forced gun to my head, like had to learn it again, I could do it again. But like it didn't bring me joy.
Yeah.
I didn't like it very much, but we did have a professor though for specifically like I think Python coding. I had a little misunderstanding, and that gave me trauma, and I don't know.
And then there was another coding professor.
Yeah.
I thought they were just like a little bit sexist.
This is the same professor,
like,
I think, that I was talking about.
Oh, well, like, because they were nicer to me when we were, like, I would tell Kiana, like, how our meetings were after. And I was like, oh, they were really nice to me. And our meetings were, like, back to back.
Yeah.
And then you would be like, no, he was What was he?
He was just very he wanted a specific answer out of me. So he was asking me stuff like, "Oh, like how did you get to this answer?" And I was like, "Blah blah 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 blah." He's like, "No." I was like, "Okay, well, that's how I got it. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me." And stuff like that. And it was really funny because like when we were graduating, he was like the first person I saw on the stage. Like, and I was like, "Oh my god, like please don't look at me."
Oh, I did not pay attention.
I know, I didn't tell
Did
you.
Did you tell that to me, or
I think I did.
you mention it?
My heart was just beating. I was already trying to focus on walking in heels. Like I could not have another thing like mistake, whatever. He was a little interesting, but whatever. We got through it. That's over.
Should we talk about graduation? That's a big jump, though.
We can talk about graduation. We can move back. I mean, I don't have much.
You just mentioned it, and it reminded me that we have to, because this one, it was because of COVID, you had 2020, 2021, and 2022 graduating. So I think it lasted from 1 to actually 10 p.m., if not 11.
No, and that's insane. Like, I feel like they should have definitely split that up. Our actual graduation, you know how like people get paper, like when they walk up, like they hold the little paper? I got this. I got this pin. 3 years of hard work and money, and I got this. I mean, I have an actual diploma, but still, that was really funny.
No, but that diploma.
Because the photo is like, first of all, my robe was too long, so the photo is just, you can't even see my hand, and I'm accepting this pin from our dean, and it's not like.
Did you buy those photos?
I believe my parents did. I did not necessarily have a need for them, but they wanted to see it or have it, I guess.
There's so much cat hair on my face. Oh my god. Sorry.
Can't relate. No, okay. But no, and then also graduation, the second graduation, our T-Swizzle graduation, which was fun. Except they put the engineering school in the back corner of the stadium. So like we could not, if we had sat there, we wouldn't have been able to see the stage. I said absolutely not.
We would have seen the back of Taylor Swift.
Literally. I said absolutely not. I'm going to sit where I can see the stage. And I was like, I got a minor at Steinhardt. I can sit with Steinhardt. Or no, we didn't even sit with Steinhardt.
You sat in Tisch.
No, we sat in Tisch. I was like, whatever, I don't care. And Frederic, well, you couldn't even get in at first because you didn't have a robe or something.
No, it wasn't because no, wait. Was it that?
Yeah.
No, the robe, no one cared about the robe.
Oh, really?
It was.
I thought it was the robe.
No, they would ask like, oh, are you going to get your robe? And I was like, yeah, my friend has it for me. But they also don't care. Like, there are other people who didn't have their robes. Mm-hmm. But I forgot why. I think it's because I didn't have my ticket or something. No, but I would have my ticket. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, you had trouble getting in, but you got in.
Yeah, I did get in.
And then Frederic was like, where are you? And I was like, in Tisch. I'm sitting in the Tisch section. Because the Tisch section was right in front of the stage. And I was like, of course it would be. Well, actually, I think Stern was right in front of the stage, which is like the golden child of NYU. But I was like, I don't care. I'm sitting here. And we got to see her in the flesh. But what I was going to say, besides that, is this isn't necessarily NYU's fault, but I got sunburned so bad that I have scarring from it. And I think...
Still?
Oh. I don't know if you can see.
Oh.
Actually, it's not that bad right now. But... So NYU physically hurt my body that day. Making me sit around. No, I'm kidding. But that was graduation. I mean, that's what I had. We did get a hot dog, though, and that was the highlight. I mean, for me.
Oh my god,
I know
I want
Taylor
a hot dog
Swift
right now.
Yeah.
I would eat a hot dog so bad right now.
I know, right? Sometimes I feel guilty for liking hot dogs, but I'm like, I grew up with Costco.
Why?
Like, why would I feel guilty? Like, this is my childhood. You know?
Yeah, and the Costco ones were like $2 maybe, right?
Mm-hmm. I did work at a baseball stadium, like a minor league baseball stadium, for a little bit, and seeing them make the hot dogs almost made me not want to ever eat a hot dog again.
Yeah, I've seen how they were made when I was in my vegan stage, my era.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it just like turned that all off. Like,
why doesn't NYU have like a vegan dining hall? Like, I feel like if any school is gonna have it, like my girlfriend's school in Denton, Texas, has a vegan dining hall.
And you said it was good.
And it was very good. Like, I was amazed. And then we had like tofu randomly in the week. That was just in sauce.
I think how it works is like you have salad, and then the vegetarian option / vegan option of the day, it's always like one thing.
Tofu.
And it changes.
Yeah.
And you got sandwiches at least. You can get a.
If they wanted to give it to you, they had the most attitude. I literally, like, I remember one time I asked for avocado. World ended. He put the sandwich down. He stared at me, and I was like, never mind. It's fine. You don't have to put it.
I always had a good. Maybe I didn't have that person, but like there were like 5 that I could pick out. That I'm like, y'all were the best.
Yeah. Well.
Because I went back and they still recognized me after
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. You're just recognizable.
But that relationship happened because so like you can, it's like you get a certain amount of meals per semester if you're on a plan, I think, and then it's like basically whatever you fit in the box. So some people would try to fit like a sushi container in the box. That's like not meant to. That also counts as a meal.
Yeah.
So I tried to do that because my friend did it, and then the girl was like, "I see that.
Yeah.
I'll let you go."
Yeah. No, they were really sweet. No, they knew that a lot of people stole, but like they didn't like. They were.
But they also gave out free meal kits at the end. So
That's true. Yeah. So. Yeah, that is okay. That's one good thing about NYU is first. I don't know if we abuse the system, but like there would be so many people who didn't use all their meals by the end of the year that like you could just ask for like a donated meal, which is basically like someone else is paying for you. But I'm not sure if it was meant to go to other students, but we definitely took advantage of it and would use it at the end of the semester. But it kept me fed, so.
yeah,
Slay.
Jasper Kane.
Jasper
Cafe.
Kane. I didn't know Jasper Kane was like a real person. I thought they like.
They are.
Yes,
What
I
do
think
they do?
they're probably like a donor to NYU.
Bitch, okay, I don't know who the fuck Tish is.
They
like,
own everything.
They own that fountain in Washington Square Park. That's Tisch Square Park. Like
No, they do.
I've been around Uptown, and there are things where I see Tish.
Oh
and I'm like,
my
why?
God.
What?
Jasper Kane is 101 and was a biochemist who helped make antibiotics. Like penicillin.
Oh shit.
Like he was a real person, and I'm throwing his
Innovator.
name around like trash.
Like, you didn't know the history.
I know. Did you know NYU has a really like what's it called? Racist history towards Jewish people.
They also have a history
Anti-Semitic.
towards- yeah, they have that, and also like taking away native land.
Yeah.
I think they even at graduation they recognized that they have taken away native. They're like the speaker was like, we want to recognize that NYU is founded upon like native land.
Yeah.
To I forgot like which tribe, and then then it moved on.
Well, no, we had a 5-second moment of silence. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do it, like, do a moment of silence. Like, we
Yeah, it
do like
wasn't
a
even a
minute in school for like, we used to it in Texas for like the U.S. Like, why don't we could have gone longer, but whatever. They did do that, but yeah, that threw me off guard. The whole anti-Jewish situation. I don't associate with that part of NYU.
Isn't it just like a lot of the buildings that have their name stopped? They're like anti-Semitic people.
Yeah, Bopst, our library.
Oh yeah.
There's something in like writing from NYU that was like very anti-Semitic. I could probably find it so easily on Google.
Yeah, you can do that while I talk about bows. So, for those who don't know, I would suggest looking it up because it's like everyone jokes about how the walls are stained red from the blood of students' pain. It's like I think it was 24-hour library during school hours, and literally people slept there. Like
No, people
they would
stayed
study
for a while.
so hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know what people liked about bows. Maybe it's because like if you are in harsh conditions, you just have less to focus on or less to be distracted on. But we could not work in those settings.
We were bad. Out of all of our friends, we like hated the library.
Yeah.
There was the one time we literally stayed in Caroline's dorm without Caroline just to work in her room because
Yeah, because our whole friend group, they took a shuttle to Bob's just
To
to
the
study. I'm
library.
like, girl, just study. Like,
Yeah.
just do it.
you're doing too much. Like too much is happening. That was
I hope you all know that's like 30 minutes to get there
I know.
basically, and to walk in and to all of that.
that was the day that we flipped Caroline's room with her roommate.
Yeah, they studied. We were able to change.
We were able to
all-
study. 1, 2, take both sides of the dorm and flip it. So like the beds,
Identical.
We took photos. We matched pens. We did everything.
Yeah, there's like if you go back to like my TikTok in the early days when y'all convinced me to get it, that's like one of the first ones.
Yeah, it was really funny.
That was so fun.
But we started going to Bopes later.
Yeah, once we moved to Manhattan, because no hell, like I'm not going on a shuttle just to study.
No,
That time on the shuttle is study time.
exactly. Yeah, no. Bopes itself, for a library of NYU size, it had no seating. It was
Yep.
always hot.
Yep.
I don't know, there's probably more. The bathroom sucked, personally. I don't know how the men's was, but the women's was sucked. Like,
Well, to get to the bathrooms, they're not on each floor. They're like, wait, no, they're on some floors.
Yeah.
The only good ones were in the basement because they're the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
But like all the ones on each floor, they're just like, I think they have like 3 stalls or something.
Yeah.
And the water fountains never worked.
No.
You got like the tiniest sprinkle.
I don't drink public water though, so I can't really.
It was through a filter.
I know. I still can't.
Wait, have you heard about the new virus that's been going on in New York City?
No.
Polio. It's back.
That's not new.
Yeah, but it's back after a decade.
Where? Like in the water? In the water?
In the cacao water.
Oh.
Wastewater. You have to be unvaccinated to get it, but we legally had to get vaccinated for it when we were babies, I think.
Yeah, probably to get into school. But yeah. Well, I did not know about that, but great.
Every day there's
new
just a
fear
new thing.
unlocked.
Yeah, new thing.
You know how much caca I see on the streets? Like. Okay.
Is it human though, or is it dog?
You don't know. It could be a big dog, a little human.
Do you want to go on your list and do the next thing?
I can talk
I'm
about
gonna have
the
to
shuttles.
open this door because oh yes, the shuttle.
Okay, so I'll talk about the shuttles. So freshman year though, they were fine, kind of. Like I just didn't like going because it took a while. Little did I know, like I would be needing it, like I think junior year, because I would have classes in between Manhattan and Brooklyn, so I would need it. But before that, I guess I can talk about COVID. During COVID, when we were basically the only students at NYU's campus, they still had the shuttle system, but it was not at all dependable. Like, I think there was a time Frederic and I were waiting. Maybe, I don't know how long. I would have given up after half an hour, so I feel like that's about how long I waited, but you would have given up early before that. But we were waiting. Literally never came. We start walking, and we see it driving down the street.
Around.
Like, literally wrap around. Frederic, it's full on Vine, like, whoa, like, bangs on the door. And do you remember? And then the guy let us on. We were the only one on that shuttle, and he took us all the way to Brooklyn.
I think we were always the one, like, only people on the shuttle always.
Yeah. But what was I going to say? That was pretty much it. Like, it was just not dependable. But there's also, shuttles stop after a certain time. So that same year, the COVID shuttle, like, whatever, we knew that there's it's called like a safe ride, and it basically can take you anywhere that there's like an NYU building once it's past a certain time. I think it might have been like after 10.
Midnight. Shuttle stop at 10.
Shuttle stop at 10 midnight. Okay. So at this time it was when we were all living together. So me, Frederic, and then our 2 other roommates, and we call a safe ride, and they were like, "Okay, how many?" We're like 4, and he's like, "Oh, I can't take." He's like, you couldn't take all of us for some reason.
You had to take a max of 3 because of like COVID restrictions or something.
Something like that. But we were like, okay, we understand. But we all are going to the same exact place. We are roommates. We live together. Like, why can't you take all of us? And at this time, one of our roommates, Hannah, was really getting upset about it. And she was like, you know what? I'll walk. But you need to come pick up my roommate. Like, I'll walk. And I was like, oh my God. It was really bad. But, like, I think this just goes to show, like, on top of the shuttle systems being bad, like, the COVID way that NYU handled COVID, I think they thought that they were handling it really well, but, like, it was still kind of messed up in the sense that, like, they had rules that didn't make sense.
We were also one of the last colleges, or no, we were the, like...
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about when we got kicked out.
Yeah.
We had 48 hours to get all of our stuff. And if you didn't get it, they were going to ship it to you. One of my roommates still had stuff that was missing when they started.
I think it's like, because if they ship it to you, you literally just put it in a box, write your address on there, and then go and leave. Literally. But, so like, I think New York City itself, they were one of the, I don't know, first or last. Either way, we delayed, America itself, we delayed wanting to go into lockdown. And I think NYU was one of the first in the city to actually do it.
No, I think Fordham was. Fordham was the first. And we were like, oh, that's weird.
Maybe we should.
And we were literally all sitting on the shuttle, and like we're going to our dining hall for dinner, and we all get the email, boom, 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 boom. Everyone's like, and it's basically like after spring break, we're gonna try to go remote, like whatever, because I think spring break was like the next week, so like we already knew we were gonna be like leaving for a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I remember I was at my aunt's in Long Island and got the full email, and it was like, yeah, the whole semester's remote. Mm-hmm. Get your stuff. You have 48 hours.
Yeah, this was like, because we were like, oh, we're just going on an extended spring break, and then we never came back.
Nope, never came back.
But
yeah,
they told us, like, 48 hours. So luckily, like, Caroline and I, we live in New Jersey, so we're like, we can train home. Mm-hmm. But I literally told my parents, like, I told them, like, come later tonight.
Yeah.
we're going home.
Yeah.
And I packed all of that bitch.
And they wouldn't let my family help me get my stuff out of the dorm when I went. I don't know why. I think later they did, but like for me, when I think I went super early though, because I literally was like an hour away, so I just drove and got my stuff. I had to go individually, throw everything, it was like the bed bugs all over again, throw everything I owned in a trash bag and bring it downstairs, down the elevator outside, and my poor uncle would have to like load it into the car, but it was just me for like almost an hour going up into my room. Literally, my desk, I remember I took everything on my desk and just put it in a bag, and like I was like, I'll sort it later, and that's how I moved out. It was kind of traumatic.
For us, wait, I forgot how it worked. I think I didn't move all of it out when that was announced. Mm-hmm. It was when they were going on like spring break. It was when I was home that they announced it, mm-hmm. and my sister and I drove.
Yeah.
Like the second after, and then we moved it all in one day. That's how it worked. But at that point, they let my sister in.
Yeah, I think I was like literally the email came out that day. I think I went later that day, so I was like right after. But on top of that, this is now as students with COVID, like in that world, we had this screener that we had to fill out every morning before we left wherever we were living.
Y'all have probably seen those NYU TikTok. NYU TikTok became a thing after this.
We had to take our temperature, and we had to like whatever, like make sure we had no symptoms. Every single day we had to fill out this form, get the screener, get the pass, show our ID, then get into the building. What a dumb system. One. I feel like it would be way more productive. Okay, like let's say we keep the screener. Let's say we keep the screener. Connect it to my card. I feel like it's not that hard. Because the thing was, if you had COVID, they could easily like deactivate your card. Yep. If I fill out the screener, I'm like, I'm sick, I have a fever, just deactivate my card. Because now I have to walk up, show my screener, put my phone down, get my wallet, get my thing out. It's like it took like 20 seconds.
No, there was on the first day's bag, like there was a line outside of the building because for people screening, because it was so slow.
Yeah. Like, I did think that they handled in terms of like testing, like we could get tested pretty much anytime we needed. I know that was hard for some schools though. Like it was free for us. We had 2-week testing. Like that was fine, but the screener was really annoying because it's like really, like I know you can do this. I know you are capable. Like I believe in you. Like just do it. But yeah.
Wait, back to Safe Ride. Wasn't there a point where they wouldn't like take people to Brooklyn?
I don't know if this is NYU or like the drivers, but like they were just kind of like hesitant to take us to Brooklyn because they didn't want to. Like
yeah, that was that.
Because they got a lot.
I was like, what else are you doing tonight?
Well, also, you know what? I have an addition to the Safe Ride. Later, the next year, everything's running as usual. Me and a friend were trying to get a Safe Ride back to the library because my apartment's so close to the library. It makes sense to just get it there. And they were like, oh, there's none available. There are too many being used right now. The wait time is like an hour. It was 2:00 in the morning. And I was like, what am I going to do? So we walk.
What are these NYU students doing?
I know. So we walk. We literally walked home. But, I mean, I could have been safer if my Safe Ride worked.
Yeah, because when Hannah was like yelling at the person for like not wanting to take us home, that was during like the peak of Asian hate crimes as well. And I think like I don't know, I don't think Hannah said it, but I was like, y'all are gonna leave these like 3 Asian people on these streets.
Literally. No, at
2 a.m.
It was really bad. Because it was like the same thing. Like it wasn't as dependable. I will say the shuttle system, now that everything's back kind of somewhat to normal, has become more dependable. But like still, it took a while. Like I shouldn't have had to wait 2 years for like to know that my shuttle was coming. And even then, sometimes they don't come. The ones at night.
Yeah, because the app that our buses run on, I'm convinced they're made by NYU students because that bitch does not run. Like
no,
you don't see. Sometimes it's like can't read if there's a bus.
There's been a few times where I'm literally like I was waiting outside and I was like I don't think, and we're all, you can tell there's all NYU students waiting for the shuttles and like we just give up because it's been like 20 minutes since it was supposed to come, so we just take the subways home, which is fine. We're capable, but like also my tuition money is paying for the shuttle. That is not appearing.
And then I have to pay basically $3 to go on the subway.
Which is a whole crisis in itself. I saw, the MTA is in a crisis right now because they're not like making profit or something like that. So that's why they've been raising the prices. They've also, I think a way to combat that, they decided to sell merch. I saw a little ad for it. I'm like, you all are dumb. If you make the things cheaper, people will use the subway. It's like, if the subway was $2, let's say even $1.50, then I don't even think about it. I'm like, that's $1.50. I can use that. I would just literally go.
Yeah.
People who usually can't afford the subway would be able to afford it, but like you'd have more people using it. I don't know. I'm just trying to solve the world's problems right now. But
I didn't know they were losing or like not making profit.
something like that. I might have misinterpreted.
But I'm like, how are they not? Like, I see people using them all the time.
Yeah, but like there's some people now, it's like, well, we even do this. It's like, if I can walk it, I'm going to walk it. I'm not going to pay $3 to take the subway.
I guess. I don't know. When I'm on the subway, that bitch is cramped sometimes. So
That's true.
like literally got so cramped when I was coming home yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I could not fit on the subway. I had to wait for the next one.
I think that's also.
And I was like, I've never like seen that before. Granted, I think it was like rush hour at that point, but like I've never seen it so cramped, and I've also never seen people so reluctant to like walk a little bit into the subway. They all crowded around the entrance. I was like, there's empty space.
I think it's also like, well, it's summer now, and also more people are coming back from just in general. Because I was at work the other day and I was taking the subway home, and it was packed. I also had to wait, and I was like, this is so weird. I've never experienced that. But I've also had a very weird experience in New York since I've never really experienced it fully.
This is also, I think, a little bit of it is Fashion Week right now, and also like yesterday I was out on Times Square. My friend's visiting, so I took her everywhere.
Cute.
I don't know if like Mardi Gras is happening right now. I took
to Times
Square, Hudson Yards, Chelsea.
Why'd you take her to Times Square?
Because she lived near there.
Oh, okay.
And she's never been to New York. She's from Australia, so
fun.
Like yeah.
Did you take her to all these places?
We saw it. But like I don't know, like I don't think Mardi Gras is happening because that's like
no, that's near
celebrating spring.
February. It's near my birthday.
Oh, okay, but like there are people with feathers all around, and like
what is
like,
this?
I overheard like someone say Mardi Gras, and I was like, I don't know if they're making a joke that like this feels like Mardi Gras, but I don't know why all these feathers and glitter. I saw all the girls out. Like,
do you remember? Were you part of the trend of feathers in your hair?
No, I saw it on Tumblr. You mean the arrow tattoos on your like?
Nah, I don't mean it's probably appropriation, but like people would get feathers in their hair like in elementary school, like all the time.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Tumblr was a different state.
Tumblr, Tumblr, yeah, porn, but also like just depressed people like would go to Tumblr.
Yeah, really depressed people.
Literally, I would open a Tumblr and be like, there are people like me, and then I would close that.
But that was like the magic of it back then. Yeah. I'm not saying magic in like the most positive way, by the way. But there was a community.
Yeah. Anyway.
Was it like basically Stan Twitter now? Yeah, but.
It was good. It was a good time. Anyway, now it's weird. Now there's like ads all the time. I can't even open the app. I'm like, this is weird.
I want to talk about.
We both said at the same time, and it sounded like when monks go home. That's how it sounded in my ears. It probably sounds very different. Okay. On the podcast.
I want to talk about the Adobe.
Yes, do it.
Okay.
I'll just be in the background.
So Adobe CC Cloud, the Creative Cloud, basically using the programs. I don't think it was available to us initially. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so originally, what a lot of schools do is like there's an NYU account that you can log into, and like have access to the apps, but like it wasn't like a personalized account. We had that freshman year.
Yeah. Okay. During COVID, they gave it to us for free.
Because
no other way to access them.
There's no other way to access, yeah.
And we needed them. Sorry, Remy is meowing like the world is ending because I closed the door.
Anyway, so we had access to it during COVID, and that was great because obviously like we needed it. We were all remote. Oh.
He just misses me.
Can't relate. So then. After COVID, though, they were like, well, now that you have access to computer labs, you don't need your personalized account. Like, you could just use the labs that we have sporadically, sometimes.
Except the computer lab was, I think, max 20 people allowed, because COVID, and not 24-hour service. So if you wanted to, God forbid you wanted to work on a project after like 10 p.m., no, closed. Yeah. And you can only work on it in like you can't use on a laptop.
It just didn't
You have
make
to be
sense
in
because
that
they
lab.
were still very much like, well, the COVID's still a thing. Like we don't want to like crowd rooms, whatever. But like also you can't use it unless you're in this computer lab. So Frederic and I, being the positive influence on NYU campus that we are, started a petition. I don't know. We got like a few people to sign. I don't remember how many.
It was not just a few. I think like at least I don't know if we got 1,000. I don't know.
Wow,
Did we get 1,000?
I did not keep up with it after a while.
Let me see if I can do it. Either way, nothing happened, but we made a damn good like proposal.
Well, first of all, we walked out of our class after our professor told us. We walked to the Washington Square Park. We sat down. Frederick had his laptop. I had my brain, and I was just telling him all the things we should
What's
say. And like I was like literally like he was my little copywriter, and we wrote it all out. We sent it out. We got a lot of people to sign. Yeah, didn't hear anything. But now, literally a year later, they announced that our major, at least, like we have access to the Adobe products, which is good to know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
After we graduate.
I know. After I pay money for each month to have my account, but it's fine.
And it's like I don't get it because like I know a lot of private colleges are like that, but I feel like most public high schools, I always had Adobe.
I didn't have Adobe. Like I had
Well,
to pay
like
for
they
it.
would give it to like our photography class, like they had it there.
They had it on our computers, but like it was the same situation. Like I had to pay for it, but that kind of makes sense because it's like not every student is going to be taking an art class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they weren't going to allocate money for that. But like I feel like in our major, we were expected to use these programs. It's not like it was an option for us. Like
Yeah.
so that was kind of dumb, personally.
And also, speaking of fees for your art class, the like taking a art studio class, you
Yes.
had to pay what $400 for the studio fee, which means using the resources of that studio, the hours and the space. It's a classroom.
The only
What
class,
else are? What's your
okay.
purpose?
Okay, sir. The only class that made sense was like we did a printmaking class. Yeah, I get it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
buy all these. Like we used a lot of stuff, but like my digital art class, like babe, I had my laptop
computer?
open the entire
Like,
time.
yeah.
And I guess it was for printing, but like even then we had to
It-
pay for
paper.
our own printing. We had to pay for our own printing. Remember?
Grant, yeah, and we got like a set amount per. Oh no, that wasn't no. That's just for like regular printing.
Yeah.
If you wanted to print like on glossy paper or like special poster paper,
For
that's
our
your
designs,
own.
like,
That's
yeah.
outside.
Oh my god, do you remember freshman year when one of our professors, like, we had to print playing cards, like 50 playing cards, 52, whatever.
How
And-
could I not forget?
Yeah, and our poor class is running around trying to find printers that worked. None of them worked, so people ended up printing at FedEx. I was like over my dead body while I pay money for an assignment that I'm supposed to be having like access to anyway. We stayed up I stayed up really late. Like I missed out on a concert to just get this done because like I couldn't find printers.
Yeah, because we had to
No,
glue.
Yeah, and then we ended up
and
using
cut.
Caroline's.
Yeah.
Like thank God she had a printer in her dorm, and like we paid her, I think, whatever for like the ink that we used, but still, it was insane.
That was a crazy assignment. It was fun though.
It was fun, but it was crazy. I don't even have it. I think I threw it away.
Oh, I still haven't.
Yeah, I was like, no. Over it.
But like I asked my other friend, she's like, she I don't know if she majors in dance, but like she took a dance class, and I think you have to. She also had to pay for that studio, and I was like, at that point you're just like most of the time you're just paying to use that classroom.
Yeah. Isn't that messed up?
Yeah, it's like that's its own purpose is to
I get
give it
like
to students.
reserving it. That makes sense. But like paying?
Yeah, but it's owned by you don't need to reserve it because it's owned by NYU.
True. I don't know.
Like what?
Yeah, that was messed up. I'm trying to think. There's more, but like, they're little.
Is that your whole list?
That's kind of my whole list.
Let me see what else I got. I put mental health / therapy just because.
Oh yeah.
And this was just like at the end of every email for advisors, and like once a month they would send an email like, if you're feeling down, we have these mental health services. I told my advisor like I was going through a tough time.
Yeah.
Or something, and I forgot why I told her that, but basically she was like, she didn't even say like I'm so sorry. She just gave me the copy and paste thing, because you can tell when like the text is copy and pasted. So the text was like, you can access the mental health services by going to 212 blah blah blah.
As far
And then-
yeah, that sucked. That was as far as like the mental health services though, like they were pretty solid. I just didn't know why it took so long. Like it took me like almost a month and a half to meet with someone. They had to like filter me and make sure that like I needed to talk to somebody first, which I get. Like they're probably really busy, but like I also was like, what if? I mean, they have never mind. They have stuff for like emergency stuff, which is good, but it did take a little bit of time. But also, there's other colleges that don't have that, so I'm grateful. Anyway,
Yes.
that was my true reflection. You just got full circle, everything I thought.
Yeah, and I did use the service at some point because like it was online. You're just talking to, I think like a counselor.
Yeah.
And like they did help. I honestly, that person was more helpful than my whole advisor.
Yeah. We had the same person, I think.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
She gave me exercises.
Same.
Okay, I put head of physics. I don't know why.
Head of physics.
Did something happen in the head of physics?
I know our professor, but I don't know. Head of physics.
I don't know why I put that down.
Maybe it was physics?
I didn't mind physics as much. I know you hated it.
I hate math.
'Cause of math.
Everyone needs
Yeah,
to remember.
I know.
You are all now my close friends. I hate math. Like, everyone who knows me, I refuse. It takes me forever to do stuff. I use a calculator for everything. I hate math. I'll say it again.
I can't. Oh my god, when we had to buy like a TI 83 calculator because the 84s were too advanced for the test. Yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah.
And I still have it.
Really?
I used it for a semester.
I gave it to, I think, one of my roommates because I don't use it anyway. But yeah.
I just found it last week.
Fun.
But that brings us to the end. It's already been an hour.
Wow. It does not feel like an hour.
Letting it all out.
Literally. Wow. Okay. I mean, I think there's stuff though, like NYU probably could have give a little.
NYU's all right.
But like, yeah, it's all right.
Oh, and just like let me just clarify. It's $6,000 for a 4-credit class. Okay.
Unless you have a scholarship.
Tuition goes up by 5% each year on average, and it is reaching $80,000 soon. Unless you have
a scholarship. I think the scholarship matches it, but same thing. But yeah, I don't know. Insane.
Do you think it's worth?
What?
Like, do you think it's worth the price?
I think the people I've met, the experiences I've had, the opportunities I've been given are worth like the time I spent here. I mean, financially, I don't know, like I feel like college should not be this expensive ever, like anywhere for anything. That's a whole other issue. But I will say, like, I have gotten good things out of NYU and I'm very grateful. But I don't know. It also depends. Like, I think my job that I'm doing now, like a lot of the stuff I'm doing, I learned in school, or like I got more experience from school. I might have known how to do it, but it's different when you're like doing it for like a job. So, I mean, I know that's not the same for some people. Like, some people go to school and then they feel like they didn't use any of the things that they learned. But in my personal experience, it was worth it. Period. Full statement. Done.
It was all right for me.
You got to meet me.
I like my, I always thought, like, if I took a gap year or didn't go during COVID, I don't think I would have
finished.
been as happy.
Oh.
No, I wanted to finish college, like, just to get it out. But, like,
yeah.
I didn't really use it for it.
I mean, no. But you make connections. I think sometimes that's like the whole point.
Yeah.
So.
I have this.
Yeah.
Top and bottom.
Top and bottom. This is all I have.
But yeah, no, next week I want to do adulting. Like, stupid things. Stupid things that we have to deal with now that we...
I heard adultery, and I was like, what are we doing? I mean, maybe, but what are we doing?
Like, thinking about money, I was like, oh my god, there's so many random things
Adulting.
I've added. Like, yeah.
I think my problems with adulting, a little sneak peek, have nothing to do with, like, the actual, like, things you do as an adult, but more or less, like, being 20 and by myself. Not, like, adult stuff. Or, like, I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. But yeah.
Mine's literally mowing the lawn.
You don't have a lawn to mow.
When I went home, I mowed the lawn, and I was like, this bitch is hard.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I used to love mowing the lawn. Because it's like a kind of like
okay. But I did it before I was younger, and I was like, oh, it's not as bad. And then I did it yesterday, or no, 2 days ago.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh.
Gross.
I'm good.
Disgusting.
And I don't know, like, what it is, but, like, my body feels like it's degrading. Like.
I feel that sometimes. Oh my god, I had, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
Right.
But we will see you all next week for another podcast.
Yep.
Will you be in person next week?
I should be. I just was too tired to.
Can I
to
explain?
leave today.
It's okay. No, I got 3 hours of sleep. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.